Rob G, bad news in the NFL. Joe Burrow's not going to be lost for the season, but 3 months.
Is he not?
They're saying 3 months. It's not. The season is 4+ months, but my God, he's hurt again.
Well, unfortunately, the 3-month timeline is actually conservative. There are people saying that this is more than likely going to end his season no matter how it goes with the recovery. But you mentioned it. Joe Burrow will undergo toe surgery after suffering what is being called third-degree turf toe. Now, turf toe doesn't sound that bad, but anybody who's actually had turf toe said they need to change the name to the death foot because it is one of the worst injuries you can get as an athlete. And unfortunately, as you guys touched on earlier in the show, this is just the latest in a long line of Joe Burrow injuries going back to college. Here's a quick rundown for you guys.
We don't have all day. What do you think? This is the internet?
Just real quick. Broken bone in his throwing hand at Ohio State in 2017. Torn rib cartilage at LSU in 2020. Torn ACL, MCL, and meniscus with the Bengals in 2020. Dislocated pinky in 2021. Ruptured appendix 2022. Calf strain 2023. Torn wrist ligament 2023. And now turf toe 2025. It's not looking good for Burrow and the Bengals.
I'll tell you this. Injuries and all, I'm with Joe Burrow. I'm taking Joe Burrow any time of the day. It's like the Kawhi Leonard. Like, there's players I'm willing to deal with the injuries and all that. And Joe Burrow showed himself really quickly. First year he got hurt, only played what did he play, Rob G? 6 or 8 games, right? Year one. And then the next year came back and took them to the Super Bowl. The Bengals have been trying to go to the Super Bowl since Moby Dick was a guppy. They had lost 7 straight playoff games, could never take that next step. He gets there, shows up, and they're in the Super Bowl. They beat Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, guess where? In Kansas City. He actually won 2 and almost won the 3rd game. Remember they were calling it Burrowhead, right? Because he owned the Chiefs down there. It was incredible. He's that kind of player. So, it's easy for people to say, oh, well, I don't know. It should have taken him. He's always banged up, always hurt. I get it. There are some players, though, who are worth it. He's worth the juice. Kawhi's worth the juice. Same thing. I say this with Kawhi. All he's got to do is win one. If he can get the Clippers there just one time. Joe Burrow, one time. Nobody's expecting the Bengals to be some dynasty or win 4 Super Bowl. None of that. You'll gladly take it. Just like the Texas Rangers won that World Series. Mm-hmm. They're good for the next 10, 12, 15 years. Am I right?
No, we tried it. No, don't worry about it. We won one. No,
we
don't worry about
that. There are plenty of teams that haven't won that would die to be in their position, is what I'm trying to tell you. But these are uniquely talented players. And for whatever reason, they can't stay healthy. It's mind-boggling. Because he really is. He's really a fantastic difference maker as a quarterback.
Listen, he had one of the best college years I've ever seen. Me and Rob G were talking about that. You were on vacation, and that's one of the best college seasons. If you said from a quarterback, that was I get you. Cam Newton sitting right there as well, could potentially have one. Some incredible football was played by Joe Burrow, and to your credit, he has been great when he's been healthy. The concern, obviously, is his health. Going back to college, he's always got something nicked up, banged up. But the difference between he and Kawhi is just the length of the season, too. Kawhi, I need you to stay healthy all through the season and during the postseason. It's a longer season. It's a longer go. That's why I would be more apprehensive with him, and it seems to be more chronic with Kawhi.
But Kawhi's the difference between the two.
Ain't no denying what Kawhi is. That's why the story of describing Kawhi is going to be so hard, because people might go, well, I'm looking at his career. He's good.
I don't think it's going to be. What's going to be hard about it?
Because if you're
seriously, I'm
answering. I'm really answering. Yeah. If Kawhi was healthy, let's say nobody's perfectly healthy. Let's say he was healthy 75, 85% of his career. Well, you would be like, oh, he might be a top 10, 12 player of all time. He's that good when he's healthy. But because he wasn't, and because he will miss out, you don't know where to rank him, he kind of had to be there to see him. Kyrie Irving, another guy. You're like, you kind of had to be there to know, because if I just look at his career, you'll be like, oh, it was good. But so that's what I mean. Healthy Kawhi.
See, the reason why I don't think so, I think he's like a Hall of Fame. He's won 2 championships. He's won finals MVPs. You know what I mean? Like, his accolades are already there. And it's incredible what he's been able to accomplish with so much missed time. And I think he could have been an all-time great.
That's what I'm saying. He could have been a top 10 guy.
But he's a great but he's great. You know what I mean?
Without a doubt.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. This makes it weird because I'm like, somebody could say, man, how was Daddy? How was Kawhi? And you could be like, he was one of, in my lifetime, top 5, 6, 7 players I've ever seen. And if you saw it and you kind of get it, you'd be like, yeah, I can't lie. But bringing it back to Joe Burrow, a couple of things. The tough part for the Bengals is all of their existence is riding with Joe Burrow. And that's okay. They put it all on him. They gave him the big bag, which you're supposed to, a quarterback that talented. I'm not even mad at it. Then they put it all on the guys he needed. They said, you want Jamar Chase, played college ball with him, that's your guy, everything. Bring him. T. Higgins, you know what we really don't want to pay him. We've been stringing him along, but you know what? We'll pay him. We got the offense set up for you. Here we go. Be happy. Let's go on this run. We paid the guys you wanted, even Trey Hendrickson for another year. Let's go. So they have it all riding on him. That's what makes this team a little difficult because they don't have a team. You mentioned J.J. McCarthy. All right, well, he's out right now, but they have a defense that can hold it down. We kind of have a system offensive. We can play around until he comes back. The Bengals are built for that offense to be great. That's it. Also, what makes him interesting, how many times can somebody win comeback player of the year? He's been comeback player of the year twice. Guess what he's about to be next year, Robs, both of y'all? He's going to be comeback player of the year
That's
thrice.
how great he is.
3 times.
Mean, it tells you about when he's
healthy. They're going to name the award after him, Rob. The Joe Burrow Comeback Player of the Year award, even though Joe Burrow is still playing, because the man is going to have 3 of them before the age of 30.
When he's healthy, he's as good as anybody. Last year, in most years, he would have had a chance to win the MVP.
90% of years, that's an MVP.
He
Last
just had 2 guys who were just even better than him.
My last point is the only concern I have is did we witness a Dan Marino? Super talented, got there year 2, just like Dan, if I'm not mistaken, year 2.
Yeah, but he only played 6 games his first year. That was incredible.
Right, but I'm saying we got there. We all know the talent, incredible. And you go, man, Joe Burrow, he'll get back. But between injuries and that daggone conference he's in, where he's got a battle with Lamar, who we both feel like is going to get there at least once, maybe a couple times. Josh probably feels like he's going to get there once, at least a couple. Patrick Mahomes, if you ask him, he's going to get back again.
No, he's done.
Justin Herbert, if you ask him, he's going to get. My point is,
yeah, but I think that
he's in a tough conference where it ain't a given.
But the only difference is he's the only one out of those people you mentioned who have been to the Super Bowl, not Patrick. I'm talking about the other guy.
That's why I'm saying Dan Marino, meaning he got there and he may never get back between health and that conference. Yeah, that ain't crazy, Rob.
I'm not convinced of that because I just don't know how many years he plays. You go through stretches. He might have
his team isn't built for that.
Yeah, but he might. But even when they weren't built for it either. He was that good. And was able to. That was a flawed Cincinnati Bengals team.
They had a better running game.
Flawed team
they had a better running game then.
Yeah, but they can build
with Joe
on
Mixon, and they also had a better defense. They weren't towards the bottom 2 or 3 in all the stats as they've been the last couple years.
Yeah, that doesn't mean they're going to be at the bottom of his whole career.
That's just my concern.
I'm just saying.
Are we looking at Dan Marino?
I'm not there yet. I got to see more of that. Mm-hmm. It would be different. The difference between him and Dan Marino is that. Dan was playing and they weren't winning. When he plays, they're really good. We talked about it. Sure, they need to get better on the defense. They have an offense. We know that. We've seen the numbers that they can put up. If they can fix that defense, keep him upright, keep him healthy, I give him a shot. Not that he has to win again. Not 4, 5, 3. No. Could he squeeze in there 1 year that Lamar's banged up or hurt, 1 year that, you know what I mean? Like some of these other situations, you just don't know.
You don't know.
Where he's good enough to me that he could get another trip to the Super Bowl. And I would be surprised if he doesn't get there. I get it, but I think he's a lead in. I think he's an elite.
That's where we flop. I would be more surprised if he got back. I expect Patrick Mahomes to get back. I expect Lamar at some point.
I don't expect Patrick
Josh
to get
Allen
back.
at one point. I expect all of those 3 guys to get there in the next decade.
I don't expect Patrick.
They're still young. Lamar is what, 27? It's incredible. Lamar Jackson's stats and career is incredible. Josh Allen's stats and career incredible. These guys are 27, 28.
I don't have Josh going, and I don't have Mahomes going again.
But you got Joe going again?
Yep. At some point.
Yeah.
That's in his career, not this year. I'm talking about at some point.
I flop over that. Because then Justin Herbert's going to have something to say.
And Justin Herbert, I got to see. Yeah, and Bo Nix, I'm not in that camp.
CJ Stroud at some point might have something to say.
I'm not in that camp. Everybody thought they were going to Super Bowl his second year.
Mm-hmm. So I would be more shocked if Joe Burrow would have make it back. That would be like, whoa, he made it back. Because that conference with those quarterbacks they have, In the words of the dude who stole
But he's
Liam
one of
Neeson's
them.
daughter, good luck.
He's one of them. To me, he's one of the top ones in that conference.
Just the talent, without
in
a
that
doubt.
division.
Without a doubt. That ain't a question. All right, Rob, so they're watching us right now, which means another thing they can do is what?
They can subscribe. All you got to do is hit that button, subscribe to The Odd Couple for some of the best sports talk content in the nation.
Facts, and while you're at it, they can like, they can comment, they can share. Do all that for us. We appreciate it. Just do all that right up in here.